What's up, family? Welcome back to the show. Listen, man, we got a good one today. The NFL's worst idea yet. If you saw that thumbnail, you're probably thinking, what is Kevin talking about today? Well, the name of the show is Listen, Man, for fans by a fan, right? So trying to look at things from our perspective is always the most important thing to me. I mentioned before 1,000 times that I feel like there's no real space for us as fans. We're kind of the backdrop of everything, even though in actuality, we're the backbone of everything. We buy the merchandise, we buy the tickets, we support our teams no matter where we go, we travel, all of these things, right? But when it comes to this space, I feel like fans really aren't highlighted too much. So this show is about that. So one of the things that I know as a fan, pretty much everybody I know that loves football over the last couple of weeks have probably been checking out the schedule. I know I did. I looked at my Steelers. I wanted to see who are we playing. When do we play the Ravens? When do we play the Browns? When do we play Cincinnati? To try to get an idea of where we could be, basically season wise, what our record could be at that time that we play those games. I also wanted to see where we're going to end up with like a murderous road like we did last year, where we just ended up the stretch with just some really, really tough games. We were banged up a little bit. So it affected us. So I'm sure, like you looked at the schedule. But I did notice something that poses that question to me. Is this the NFL's worst idea yet? Now, what I'm talking about is games being played overseas. And I know what most of y'all are thinking. Y'all probably like, Kev, look, man, the NFL, they trying to grow the game. They're trying to grow the league. There's so many countries that like the NFL. But in actuality, it's really unique because those countries typically have their own sports, their own football that's bigger than ours. So I know that they support, but a lot of it is also Americans that fly over and support those games, and it's a spectacle. So of course you're going to have some people that show up as well. So I understand the premise on the surface. It's a business, right? So you always want to try to grow and expand your business. But I also know with business, if you don't strategically grow it, it can actually ruin your business. So let's examine it just a little bit today. If you follow me, make sure you hit subscribe, make sure you hit the thumbs up and the notification bell so that when these episodes come out, you guys lock in, you guys get it, and you can check me out. Make sure you also leave comments. So if you have anything to say, if you have any questions, any comments about the episode, shoot, if you just want to tell me what you're thinking, please let me know. If you follow me on Instagram, Listen Man for fans, man, please DM me. Let me know some ideas if you have them. And maybe we'll do a live and we can continue this topic a little bit more. But in the meantime, let's just take a look at the 2026 schedule, right? And then see if you understand what I'm talking about. So I'm going to pull it up right now. So the season actually starts off in Melbourne, Australia. Now think about this. This is going to be the San Francisco 49ers against the LA Rams. Now, this is kind of wild because we know that teams that travel, it disrupts their whole routine. We know that a lot of players are superstitious, they're creatures of habit. And so when this happens, oftentimes it can affect things, right? I know a few years ago, watching some had great records and then they went overseas and then they came back and it's like it threw everything completely off. And then they came back and lost a few games. So as a fan, I can't say that I like the idea of teams in the regular season going over to play. And I get it. That's always the difficulty. You can't really do exhibition games. It's kind of like the Pro Bowl, right? We saw how much of a disaster that is because guys don't want to get hurt, too much money involved, and so they don't play hard. So there's no real way to do an exhibition overseas for the NFL. So they're doing actual regular season games there. But here's the question. Is this the worst idea yet? Because it could potentially ruin the regular season for some teams. And I'm going to show you. So we start the season off in Melbourne, Australia. A division game, LA versus San Francisco. And now I know I might be a little dramatic when I say this, but this could very easily affect the rest of the season for one of these two teams. What happens the first game of the season? You're already trying to get the jitters out and things. But let's just say San Francisco, with all the injuries that they have, end up winning this game. And then by the end of the season, some way it hurts the Rams because they lost his first game in Melbourne. Whereas if this game was in LA, maybe they win that game. As we move on, we have week 3, the Ravens against the Cowboys in Brazil. We know that that could be a distraction as well. Then we move forward, weeks 4 through 6 in London. And this is where it really gets tricky for me. Because not only do you have Washington versus the Colts, but then you have Philadelphia versus the Jaguars. Now, Jacksonville, to me, kind of gets the short end of the stick of all of this because for 2 weeks straight, they're in London. So week 5 and 6, week 5, they played the Philadelphia Eagles. In week 6, they're playing the Texans. So imagine if you're a Jacksonville Jaguar fan. And yes, there are Jacksonville Jaguar fans. I know some. There are. And they had a pretty good season. They're looking to build on that this year. But imagine you're in London for 2 weeks. It's not like they're going to fly back to the States and then come back to London. No, they're going to stay there for over 2 weeks. Imagine how that can throw off your preparation, throw off your routine. Could that affect them? I guess we'll see. But what if they drop both of those games and it really affects their standing in the AFC? Could it be because of having to travel overseas? Potentially. Let's keep moving. Week 7, Pittsburgh Steelers, we play the Saints in Paris. Again, for me, I would rather that be a home game. I would rather it be in New Orleans because at least I know our fans travel probably better than any other fans in the league. And so at least that gives fans an opportunity to see the Steelers play. So now we're down 1 game to where the Steelers won't be seen. Same thing, week 9, 10 and 11. We have the Bengals versus the Falcons, the Patriots versus the Lions, and in Mexico City, week 11, the Vikings versus the 49ers again. So here we have another team in the 49ers that again is going to have to travel. So 2 times they're going to have to travel. So when we look at the schedule, I'm just trying to understand where the NFL sees the benefit of this other than dollar signs. As a fan, I hate it. Those same dollars could be made here in the States if you have more home games. It allows fans to actually support and see the team that they want. Oftentimes these games are on weird times, super early Sunday morning, super late Saturday night, whichever one, because of the time difference. So you don't necessarily get the fans being able to watch it. You got to watch a recorded one. And we know how that goes. Today with technology, as soon as you open your phone, if you're like me, you're getting alerts from ESPN or wherever, what your team did. So now you have to wait and try to watch a game that you pre-recorded, but you pretty much know the outcome already from watching your sports shows in the morning, right? So just overall, my thoughts on it as a fan is that I don't feel like it's ultimately going to be good for the NFL. I think it's going to turn fans off. Yes, it may make the NFL a lot of money, but I also think that it's going to hurt teams. And when teams start to see how traveling this much can affect their team, I think eventually the NFL may pull back on this. And really, if you think about it this way too, I did a little tiny bit of research on this. The NFL is the only league professionally that has regular season games in other countries. No football leagues around the world, soccer, none of them play regular season games in other countries. They keep their league in the country that it's in. The reason for that, it shows that they respect their fans, it shows that they respect the brand, and it helps the teams to maintain consistency. So is this the NFL's their worst idea yet? I guess time will tell. But my thoughts on it are clear. I really don't like it. That's just the honest truth. But who am I? I'm just a fan, right? Just like you. So tell me what your thoughts are. Do you like teams going overseas to play? Is that something that excites you? Would you travel to go see your team? Would you spend that money to go watch a football game somewhere else? Well, some people haven't even seen it in their own home stadiums. I'd rather have that opportunity to be able to see my team in Pittsburgh or maybe even travel somewhere else to see them as opposed to having to watch another game on TV far away at a different time. That's just what I'm thinking, guys. I figured I'd see what you guys are thinking. So make sure you tap in, leave a comment. Let me know what you're thinking. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Do you think I'm crazy? You let me know. And listen, like I always like to end the show. Simple. Keep good people around you. If you keep good and positive people around you, positive things are definitely going to happen to you. So until the next episode, you guys have a great day. I hope the best for you. And like we always say, we fade away. Till the next time.